Good evening. Thanks, Sean. It's great to be here tonight. So, I'm here to talk to you about making better health decisions with better data. After being a venture capitalist, an IT executive, internet executive, biotechnology executive, I've been on all sides of data, and I've also been on all sides of healthcare as a patient and a patient advocate. So I think that the best way for me to make all the points I can make is to sing you a song. Better data, better advice, better decisions, better life, delight me, it's better. Okay, you probably didn't see that. Okay, so what we just did was an experiment. We just did a science experiment. And now I'm going to poll the audience. I'm going to ask you guys 4 questions. Did you like the song? You didn't like the song? You are in shock and you don't know what to think? Or you thought it was funny? Okay, so show of hands. Number 1, you liked the song. Number 2, didn't like the song. Number 3, are in shock and don't know what to think. Number 4, thought it was funny. Excellent, excellent, mission accomplished. Okay, so I asked you 4 questions, but I could have asked you any questions, and were those good questions to ask you? Would it have made more sense for me to say, did I sing well compared to somebody else? Or compared to what? Compared to Aretha Franklin? Compared to Dick Cheney? No offense to Dick Cheney, but I'm probably funnier. So, and there's also a scenario in which, compared to, maybe the smart thing would have been to say, compared to, how did I sing compared to last week? Or compared to how I sang in high school when I was traumatized by my Glee Club director. I could have asked you anything. And if I'd been hooked up to 50 laboratory sensors, we could have measured my brain waves, my the vibration of my vocal cords, my lung capacity, how nervous I am. Like, gee, she's really nervous. Well, considering this is the first time I'm singing in public, I'm actually doing pretty well. Or maybe I'm just nervous because I'm not sure about where I parked my car and if the Whole Foods will validate it later. So, collecting data is one thing. Analyzing and interpreting the data is something completely different. The takeaway from our little science experiment might be, gee, Marie Louise, you should keep your day job. Or if you really want to be a professional singer, you need to practice more than 10 minutes a day. But these lessons can be applied to healthcare. When a patient goes into a doctor's office for 10 to 20 minutes a year, the doctor's just getting an isolated snapshot. They're getting a blood pressure reading, weight, pulse. They're not getting the context that would be provided by understanding that person's lifestyle, their diet, their exercise, their family life, their emotional state. The doctor doesn't have that. Wouldn't it be great if the doctor could have more contextual information to make better decisions? And a lot of times doctors don't even ask. So we're trying to put together at Delight Me tools to make it easy for patients and doctors to make better decisions with better data. I'm lucky enough to have access to the best medical care in the world. And I'm continually amazed that if I ask 10 different specialists the same question, I can get 10 different answers. And attaching a patient to a lot of sensors might be interesting, but doesn't necessarily going to be meaningful. You could have attached sensors to me to tell me that whether I've smoked or not. But I don't need that kind of information because I already know that I'm not a smoker. And if I want to sing better, what I need to do is practice more. And the reason that I sing as well as I do right now, whatever that happens to be, is because I have wonderful teachers, music teachers, who inspire me and motivate me and encourage me to make mistakes, even singing to you guys in public. So, similarly, a patient that has encouragement to develop better habits and make healthier choices is going to live healthier and longer. And it's important to be able to provide that encouragement to sustain good habits. So all these issues are so important to me that I created Delight Me, which is a goal management platform that makes it easy for individuals and businesses to set and achieve goals with the support of multiple people from multiple perspectives. Basically, Delight Me is about making better decisions with better data. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I'll go first because I know it's the hardest question. And I'm an advocate and a patient too. What evidence, if you have it, exists to demonstrate knowing any piece of information about an individual beyond clinical presentation is worth the imposition on privacy and the risk of misinformation, let alone misinterpretation by physicians and others who do not know how to use that information? Why do you believe, what evidence you have, that it actually makes better outcomes?
Can you give me an example of what you're talking about?
Right. For example, they can test whether you're a smoker. They'll ask you a question, that's one piece of it. They can give you another test that says what you've been smoking in the last 48, 72 hours. They can find another test that will tell you whether you've ever been a smoker. However, if you're showing up with a broken arm, it's not very useful. And the question I have is, most people, when they advocate the question of this type of information, are in fact implying you show up with a broken arm, it's now time to collect the information because you are there. And then they load up all these extra pieces of information, which is not clinically relevant to the presentation.
For every complex problem, there is a simple solution that is wrong. Delight Me is a platform which enables people to set goals with people they trust. I could set a goal with Sean that I need to really work on my speaking skills. So we're going to do, next time we have a meetup, we're going to practice. And my friend over here, Tom, is going to videotape the event. And then I will have milestones towards getting better at speaking. I can have milestones at getting better at music. So the point of Delight Me is to set goals with people you trust and then track progress with data. Like you enter the data on your smartphone, the data is shared with your community of people that you trust. You can graph the data. And those people you trust are advisors or friends or family. So the point is to get into the habit of developing more self-awareness and asking yourself questions and being able to know more about your own mental and physical health, get advice on an ongoing basis, not just once a year, because once a year is just not enough.
Would you say that you're
Okay.
more?
That's the question. How do you know that?
How do I know that once a year is not enough?
Absolutely.
How much time do we have?
So you don't have the data that says once
Oh.
it's not enough.
Don't get me started, or it's too late now, you've got me started. My mother, she's 90 years old, they measure her blood pressure once a month. Did you know that if they measure it with a manual cuff versus an automatic cuff, it's completely different?
Absolutely.
You can measure it on your leg, it's completely different. Measure it sitting or standing, it's completely different. The readings are so different with just the instrument. And this is all at Kaiser, all the same patient. And because, I went to MIT, I'm an E, what can I say? got me started. So I look at her history of blood pressure and I see what it does. And they will make a recommendation. They literally made a recommendation for her to take a much stronger drug to lower blood pressure, which would have made her dizzy and go to the bathroom all the time. This is a 90-year-old woman. Should a 90-year-old woman be getting dizzy and going to the bathroom all the time? Like, hello? So I asked to look at her data, and I'm looking at when her blood pressure went up, and it's when it was 100 degrees out. We live in Washington, D.C., and because she lives with me, I remember she's been eating salted nuts every day, about as much as she wants. So it's like, I'm taking the nuts away, and I'm making sure she gets a walk in. Guess what? Her blood pressure went back down to normal. So I don't think you can have isolated data, and it can be so easily wrong for so many different reasons. Yes?
Just curious, how is this different from like a traditional PHR that you can invite people into, for example, Google Health or Microsoft Health or something like that? Obviously, Google Health is on the way, but would you say it's like a collaborative health record, or how does it fit into one of those buckets that we created?
Well, it's definitely collaborative and it's multidisciplinary because I think all aspects of life are interconnected. Mental health, physical health, career, money, sports, school. For example, if somebody was using DelightMe for education, like a teacher, a kid that's taking math, history, science, English, guitar, playing soccer, there are all these different metrics associated with all these different activities, and you could collaborate and make with all the different teachers and parents and siblings, etc., and collaborate around all the different activities and help the kid achieve goals. And also, the kid would also develop more self-awareness, like, oh my God, if I sleep, I get better grades. If I exercise, I can concentrate better. If I eat well, I can concentrate better. There are all these different variables that, for people that aren't paying attention, they don't realize what an impact these things have on success.
So if I wanted to get started, I just go to the site and I sign up and connect with Facebook. I pay $5 a month. I see banner ads.
We haven't launched yet, but we're getting close. So I'd love your business card and exchange cards, and I'll put you on the list for when we're closer to launching. Yes?
So is all this data self-reported? Like every time I go to the doctor's office, I put what they took my blood pressure was? Like as a physician, how do I know that everything's like accurate and that it's consistent? Like people can't remember to write food journals every day. How are they going to remember to put in all these metrics every day?
Well, part of the way this is structured, there's so many, and I was talking to somebody here, that just doing one thing better or just thinking about one thing can make a huge difference. So DelightMe isn't about measuring everything all the time with everybody, but it's by sitting down with somebody you trust and setting 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals that make sense for you. Like one person is, and having trouble with algebra, another person's at the top of the class in algebra. They're going to have different goals. Somebody who's a beginning music student is going to have different goals than an experienced music student. It's my turn.
Done. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.